Hi everyone, this is Metro Edition. I'm Matt Schuster. Well, for more than 100 years, Louisville residents have enjoyed the diverse Olmsted Park system right here in Louisville. Well, the Olmsted Parks Conservancy is working hard to maintain that system. Here's a look at some of their recent efforts and how you can help.
In the late 1800s, Frederick Law Olmsted, designer of New York's famed Central Park, came to Louisville and began designing this beautiful park system.
Olmsted Parks are really Louisville's greatest natural and recreational asset. We're very lucky that we have it in that we are one of only 4 cities in the entire United States that has an Olmsted-designed park system.
Olmsted began with 3 cornerstone parks, Iroquois, Shawnee, and Cherokee, and expanded from there.
A lot of people in Louisville don't know that there are 18 Olmsted Parks and 6 parkways. There's about 2,100 acres of Olmsted Parks and about 16 miles of parkways.
The Olmsted Parks Conservancy was founded in 1989 to help restore, enhance, and preserve these parks.
We really owe a lot to Mayor Abramson and to those forward-thinking people back there in the 80s who really decided that parks was something that Louisville should not just neglect.
One special concern of this group is woodland restoration. Over the years, a variety of factors have opened up the areas to several different species of invasive plants.
When the 1974 tornado hit, which a lot of people might remember, it leveled a lot of the mature trees in those parks. We lost all the shade that had been sort of preserving the understory in the parks, protecting the understory. And what that meant was it provided an opportunity for some very invasive, very aggressive, very noxious plants to come in.
There's one particular invasive species that we're concerned about mostly, and that's a shrub called bush honeysuckle.
The problem of bush honeysuckle is worse in areas of Cherokee and Seneca Park.
We actually have a couple of species of bush honeysuckle in the park.
Bush honeysuckle changes the existing environment to suit its own needs, and as a result, it prevents other native plants from growing.
It's got the ability to change the nutrient composition of the soil to benefit itself. There's not a lot of ground cover in the area. One of the factors that results in this is the ability of bush honeysuckle to leaf out in the springtime earlier than any other plant, and also to hold its leaves later in the year than any other plant, which gives it an extreme competitive advantage for sunlight.
So the Conservancy is sending out its crews and volunteers to help remove the plant.
This is our Olmsted Park nut truck. We have tools in here for our field crew, tools in here for our volunteer groups. We have to use what we feel like are the most efficient techniques for removing bush honeysuckle. He's going to use a chainsaw to buck up the upper portion of the plant, and then he's going to cut the stump as low to the ground as he can possibly get. And then once he does that, we're going to spray that stump with an herbicide.
When the project began, almost 100% of Cherokee Park was covered. Now, after years of work, the project is about halfway finished.
We can see in the background here an area that is very thick with understory plants. Those plants primarily, about 99% of them are bush honeysuckle. Take a look at an area where bush honeysuckle and other shrubby understory plants were removed 2 to 3 years ago. We have a much more open look.
Once bush honeysuckle is removed, other invasive species can move into its place, like this creeping Charlie.
This ground cover is very pervasive. It's very difficult to get rid of. Currently, we have at least 5 species of ground cover that we're concerned with. Huge shrouds go over top of the trees and/or canopy trees and eventually kill them.
Seeds of invasive plants are spread quickly by animals and weather.
The birds eat the berries and pick up the seeds and disperse the seeds again across the city, and kind of our work that we're doing would really be nullified if nobody else did their part of the job as well.
You can help limit their growth by not planting them in your own landscapes. Go to olmstedparks.org for a list of the species to avoid. Still, you can see the difference it makes to remove the bush honeysuckle.
There's a couple of plants that seem to act as pioneer species once we remove bush honeysuckle. This small 10 to 15 foot tree is pawpaw.
Native plants like this pawpaw are slowly moving back into the forest floor. But Olmsted Parks Conservancy couldn't make this kind of impact without volunteers.
We have a great number of volunteers who come out every Saturday and help us eradicate the bush honeysuckle and do some other work on other projects in the parks.
You get close to people like working with them for like a lot of hours. So, yeah, we've had a lot of fun this week.
For us, it's extremely important to have volunteers who take ownership in the park and really want to get out and help with this restoration effort.
This church group from all over the country is painting a building at Chickasaw Park.
We should have taken like a before and after picture because it looks so much better now.
It's just so much cleaner and brighter and prettier.
As a nonprofit group, Olmsted Parks Conservancy works closely with other businesses and organizations, especially Louisville Metro Parks.
The Louisville Metro Park System consists of 124 parks and over 15,000 acres.
Together we can do work a lot better than we can do individually.
They work with us to make sure that we can restore and enhance our existing Olmsted parks and make them better than they currently are.
Luck really has very little to do with it. It takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of resources. That's why we're so happy to have the volunteers that we have, because there's a lot of manual labor involved. And we're so happy to have our members and our donors because they help us fund these projects that are so important in these parks.
If you are interested in volunteering to help renew Louisville's unique Olmsted Parks, please call 456-8125.